Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, students and physics enthusiasts. Here's another problem on atomic structure, specifically the Bohr's atomic model of a hydrogen atom. So just relax, stick around, watch, and learn. This is the problem. A hydrogen atom makes a transition from the quantum number n equals 2 level to the quantum number n equals 6 level. In the Bohr model, find letter A, the change in electron kinetic energy. Question letter B, the change in electric potential energy. And letter C, the wavelength of the photon that the atom absorbs to cause the transition. In figure 1, we are given the Bohr model of the hydrogen atom. The proton um, with mass capital M and charge positive E in the nucleus is assumed to be stationary. And then an electron with mass small m and charge negative E revolves around uh, or in a circle, okay, of radius small r sub n with speed v sub n. The electrostatic attraction from the proton provides the centripetal acceleration. And in figure 2, we also emphasize Bohr's main idea, okay, that, for example, the emission line spectrum of an element tells us that atoms of that element emit photons with only certain specific frequencies, okay, f, small f, and hence certain specific energies, E equals small h times f. And during the emission of a photon, the internal energy of the atom changes by an amount equal to the energy of the photon. Therefore, according to Niels Bohr, each atom must be able to exist with only certain specific values of internal energy. And each atom has a set of possible um, energy levels. Okay, an atom can have an amount of internal energy equal to any of these levels, right? But it cannot have an energy intermediate between two levels. Okay, all isolated atoms of a given element have the same set of energy levels. But atoms of different elements, of course, have different sets. So, in this particular problem, okay, a hydrogen atom makes a transition, right, from uh, the quantum number small n equals 2 level to the quantum number n equals 6 level. So this means that The process is what we call um, photon absorption. All right. In order for the electron uh, to jump to a higher energy level, such as from n equals 2 to n equals c, okay, the atom has to absorb photon energy. Okay. And in this problem, our target variables are in part A, the change in electron kinetic energy, denoted by delta K. And then in part B, we're also required to determine the change in electric potential energy, denoted by delta capital U. And of course, in part C, okay, the target variable is the wavelength lambda of the photon that the atom absorbs to cause the transition. The kinetic energy of an electron at a certain energy level, small n, is, as we all know, equal to 1/2 times its mass, small m, and the square of its speed at that particular energy level, v sub n. And this has been derived, right? Uh, so now we have an expression, okay, that describes this electron kinetic energy. Okay, it's equal to um, the reciprocal of the square of the electric constant epsilon naught multiplied by um, the mass of the electron, small m, and its charge raised to the fourth power, okay, and then divided by 8 times small n squared times small h squared, okay, where uh, small h here, of course, is the uh, Planck's constant, okay, and of course, small n is the principal quantum number or main energy level the electron resides, okay, and then um, the electric potential energy, capital U sub n, okay, the formula also has been derived, and we have this, okay, expression or equation. Capital U sub n is equal to negative uh, of the reciprocal of the square of the what do you call electric constant or epsilon naught squared, then multiplied by the mass of the electron, small m, times its charge raised to the fourth power, then divided by 4 times small n squared times small h squared. Okay? So if you compare the two equations very carefully, you will notice that they are quite similar, except for the fact that uh, in the case of the electron kinetic energy, the the denominator here is or has 8. Okay, and then for the electric potential energy of the electron, it's only 4. Right now, The negative sign means that um, we have taken the value of the electric potential energy to be zero when the electron is infinitely far from the nucleus. All right. So we are after all we are just interested in the differences in energy between energy levels. All right. So the reference position really doesn't matter. Now the total energy, which is denoted here by capital E sub n, also has its own expression. Okay. By definition, when we say total energy, we're talking about the sum of the kinetic energy and the electric potential energy, right? So the expression is capital E sub n is equal to negative of the reciprocal of the square of the electric constant, epsilon naught, and multiplied by m a to the fourth power divided by 8 times n squared times h squared. Right. So comparing this expression with that expression for the kinetic energy, okay, they are exactly the same, right? Except for the fact that for the total energy, there is a negative sign, right? And in these three equations, okay, the constant quantity small m times e to the fourth divided by 8 times epsilon naught squared times h squared actually, okay, is equal to HCR, right? Or the product of the Planck's constant small h, the speed of light small c, and capital R. Okay. The value of uh, big R here, which is, by the way, known as the Rydberg constant. It has a value equal to 1.097 times 10 raised to the 7th power per meter. So we can get the value of the product small h CR by substituting these quantities, right? Such as um, quantity 6.626 times 10 raised to the negative 34 joule second, which is the Planck's constant, okay, rounded to 3 decimal places. And then, of course, multiply that by the speed of light in a vacuum, okay, rounded to 3 decimal places, or 2.998 times 10 to the 8th power meter per second. And of course, multiply this by the value of the Rydberg constant, 1.097 times 10 to the 7th power per meter. So when you do our math, okay, we get this value, 2.179 times 10 raised to the negative 18. The unit is joules, right? So the product of small h, small c, and capital R, okay, is the energy, photon energy, okay, equivalent to 2.179 times 10 raised to the negative 18 joules, which when converted to electron volts, we obtain 13.6 electron volts in 3 significant figures. Right? So we can have the shortcut formulas for determining the electron kinetic energy. All right. Case of N, or the kinetic energy of the electron, can be computed by just multiplying, or I should say dividing, okay, that value, 13.6 electron volts, by the square of the principal quantum number, small n. And then for the electric potential energy, capital U sub n, okay, the shortcut formula is simply equal to negative 27.2 electron volts divided by small n squared. Okay, 27.2 is actually twice the value of 13.6, right? And of course, for the total energy, capital E sub n, okay, the formula is negative 13.6 electron volts divided by small n squared. Moving on to our calculations. In part A, we are required to determine the change in the electron kinetic energy using the formula. K sub n equals 13.6 electron volts over n squared. Starting with n equals 2, the kinetic energy of the electron is 13.6 electron volts divided by 2 squared, or 4. So that gives us 3.40 electron volts. And for n equals 6, the kinetic energy is 13.6 electron volts divided by 6 squared, or 36. So we get 0.380 electron volts. So getting the change in the kinetic energy, okay, we just subtract K at n equals 6 minus K at n equals 2. That is 0.380 electron volts minus 3.40 electron volts. We obtain negative 3.02 electron volts. Okay, the negative sign simply implies that when the electron jumps from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, it loses kinetic energy approximately by as much as 3.02 electron volts. In part B, our target variable is the change in the electric potential energy delta U, right? For the same transition from n equals 2 to n equals 6. And our shortcut formula is capital U sub n equals negative 27.2 electron volts divided by n squared. So the electric potential energy for n equals 2 is negative 27.2 electron volts divided by 4. So that gives us negative 6.80 electron volts. And for n equals 6, Okay, the electric potential energy is negative 27.2 electron volts divided by 6 squared, or that's 36. So we obtained negative 0.76 electron volts. And so therefore, getting the change in the electric potential energy delta U, we subtract uh, the value of capital U6 minus the value of capital U sub 2, or negative 0.76 electron volts minus negative 6.80 electron volts. And that gives us a delta U of positive 6.04 electron volts. Whereas in the case of the kinetic energy, okay, where the electron loses, okay, kinetic energy when it transitions from a lower energy level to a higher energy level, okay, the opposite happens, okay, to the change in the electric potential energy, right? Here, there is an increase, all right? There is an increase of the electric potential energy in transitioning from n equals 2 to n equals 6, okay, by as much as 6.04 electron volts. Last but not least, in part C, we compute the wavelength lambda of the photon that is absorbed by the hydrogen atom during the transition. Okay, so we first find the change in photon energy delta E, okay, which is E sub 6 minus E sub 2, or delta E equals negative 0.380 electron volts minus negative 3.40 electron volts. So we get positive 3.02 electron volts, right? This is the value of delta E, which when converted to joules, okay, by simply multiplying it by the conversion factor 1.602 times 10 to the negative 19 joules, okay, per electron volts, we get the change in the photon energy delta E, okay, equal to 4.84 times 10 raised to the negative 19 joules in 3 significant figures. Finally, in part C, we are now ready to determine the wavelength of the photon that's absorbed, okay, by the hydrogen atom using this formula, okay, commonly known as the Planck-Einstein relation equation. Okay, so lambda is equal to the product of the Planck's constant small h and the speed of light small c divided by delta E, or the change in the photon energy. That is, lambda equals 6.63 times 10 to the negative 34 joules second. Okay, we are using the value of Planck's constant with 3 significant figures. Then multiply it by the speed of light, okay, in vacuum, also with 3 significant figures, 3.00 times 10 to the 8th power meter per second. Their product, of course, will be divided by the computed value for delta E, or the photon energy change, 4.84 times 10 to the negative 19 joules. So when you do our math, we obtain the value of the wavelength lambda equal to 4.11, okay, times 10 to the negative 7 meters, or when converted to nanometers, okay, that is equal to 411 nanometers, right? Using the equivalent factor, 1 meter being equal to 1 times 10 to the 9th power nanometers. And checking this, okay, value in the what we call electromagnetic wave spectrum, okay, this wavelength corresponds to the wavelength of visible light, okay, more particularly the light with the violet color. All right, so you are done. May I say mabuhay till the next episode. MashaAllah. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alhamdulillah.